Okay, so my name is Eric. I work with Conmed. This is Quentin. Quentin is he's brand new with the company, so he's still in training. This is his first in service, so he's kind of just with you guys right now trying to figure this out. So this technology is being used over at Manhasset Main Hospital. And the reason it's being used is because of its ability to maintain stable pneumo. We're able to track 3 times per second the inter-abdominal pressure, so you're not going to lose pneumo during the case unless the machine shuts off. There are 3 components to this machine. There's the Airseal itself. There is going to be, you're going to use 1 trocar, and you're going to be using tubing. So initially, when you turn this machine on, it takes about 2.5 minutes to start. So it's good practice just when you come in, start it up, because when the surgeon asks you for the tubing and it's not on, you're kind of waiting for quite a bit. So the tubing's going to kind of come like this. It's going to say Airseal, ASM evac. I think you guys are just going to get it sent over from the hospital because they've got the So when the tubing comes out, it's going to look like this. This is our tri-lumen tubing. There are 3 lumens, and each one does a little bit something different. One's going to pump CO2 in. One is going to constantly evac smoke, so you'll have constant smoke evacuation. And then the other is a pressure sensor. So what that's going to do is that's going to read the inter-abdominal pressure throughout the case and then be able to sense that 3 times per second. So you're not going to lose the pneumo. This right here on the end is this micron filter. It's a 0.01 micron filter. It is the strongest filter on the market. So during the case, this is going to be pulling out the inter-abdominal whatever's in it, the CO2, the air, it's going to recirculate it through the machine and then help to recirculate and push some of that's going to mix with the gas and then kind of keep that at a higher temperature than it would if it was just straight CO2. You're going to take this, just like this, the 12 o'clock position. You can't put it in like this. You can't really put it in any other way, so it's pretty much fail safe. You're just going to push it in. You're going to pull down the lock mechanism, and then you'll see this tight. So it comes with this adapter. This adapter is going to be for insufflation because you're going to have to just use like whatever they're insufflating with, like with a varus needle. So you'll just hook this up like this, and I'll just kind of pretend that there's a varus needle. You plug this in, and when you plug that in, there will be a start button, and it'll say standard insufflation. You'll press that, and then you'll start to see the flow, and then the surgeon will look, and you'll see up to 15 or wherever they start with. When you get everything placed, you're then going to place the final trocar you're going to place is the Airseal trocar. It does vary. Some surgeons might not do that. They might place this one first. It's all their preference. So this trocar is going to be, when you take a look, it goes straight through. There's no valves, there's no seals. So what happens, like during the case, you can pull out specimens, things aren't going to get stuck inside there. And it is going to make a noise because there's some jets that kind of flow the air around. So it's going to go, you're going to think that you're leaking air, but you're really not going to be leaking air.
It's only one side?
No.
What's that?
It's only one size? That's 12.
Nope. There's also a 5.
Okay.
You'd probably be using a 5. It just really depends. We also have an 8, but I just brought 2.
That's an 11 or 12?
It's a 12.
12,
It
yeah,
does
12.
look a little bit bigger, and it is a little bit bigger than the standard 12, and that's because this is a dual cannula. If you look at the bottom of these, there's these little nares. You see the nares? There's 4 of them right here.
Right.
So there's a dual cannula, so that's where the air, the CO2, blows out into the abdomen. And then this will be constant sucking, constant smoke evacuation.
So this plastic comes off? When you get a fresh one, the plastic comes off?
Yeah.
Okay, so 8, 5, 12.
Yep. One of the main things, so when you switch over, so let's just say now we're in standard insufflation, and now we need to hook it up, right? So you have your varus needle, or you're into your regular trocar. You're just going to take the stopcock, shut it off. Take this, say this is placed. Then you're going to keep the obturator in. Okay, don't take this out right away, because if you do, it is open and all this air is going to come out. So keep that in. You're going to then just twist it on. and then you're going to go over to the machine. We're going to try to download the new software on here, which you don't have to do it. This will automatically detect that you're in Airseal mode, and then it will tell you you're ready to go. Then you can pull the operator